Hello all, welcome to Tuesday Night Flow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Okay. All right. So welcome and thank you again for being here for Tuesday Night Gentle Flow. It's an honor and privilege to lead you all in this practice. So blessings and thank you. Tonight, let's start on our backs. And let's bring our feet together, knees come open wide into our Supta Baddha Konasana. And that's where we'll start our practice tonight. If you would like blocks underneath your knees, feel free to do so. Grab those props as you need. And then just centering in, just letting your body rest here. Welcome into the space, wherever that may be for you. And maybe you bring one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. And tonight, I want you just to focus on honoring your body. We'll be moving slowly through our poses, through our asanas. And then we'll take time just to rest and feel. Notice what we notice, feel what we feel, and you'll hear commonly said. I want us to really just inward search ourselves and just feel what is happening inside of us. Maybe there's emotions that are coming out of it. Maybe you feel some strength that you've been building. Maybe there's some areas of stickiness. So let's first draw awareness to our breath here in our reclined bound angle. Let's inhale, lift the belly up as the hand rises with the belly. Fill up. And let a big open mouth. Let's inhale to a count of 3. Inhaling 3, 2, 1. Hold it here for 1 and let it go. Pause for 1. Inhale 3 counts. Hold. Let it go 3 counts. Pause. Inhaling to 3 or maybe to 4. Pausing for 1 or maybe for 2. And exhaling the same as you inhaled. Pausing. And repeating that breath cycle for about 3 to 4 more rounds at your pace. One more wherever you're at. And then just rest here. And take this time to notice your body in this space. Maybe setting an intention to carry with you through your practice this evening. And as you're ready, we'll begin some movements, bringing the knees together. If you have blocks on the side, feel free to move them out further away. We may come in handy later. We'll just move them to the side for now. And then bring the knees into the chest and maybe roll side to side. Circles on the ceiling with those knees. As we're honoring our body tonight, know that if anything does not feel good for you, take something different. I'm just here to offer and guide, but your body is a much better guide than myself. Let's go ahead and put the knees together and just drop them over to the left side. Maybe you use that block. Just an easy, gentle spinal twist to start with. No need to worry about crunching or pushing or pulling your body in any direction. Just dropping the knees to one side. And then bring them back to the middle and drop them over to the other side. On your inhale, knees will come back up to the middle. Go ahead and drop your feet down to the mat and notice. I'll say this a lot tonight. And then let's bring that right heel to the left knee. Figure four, stretch, threading the hands behind the left thigh. And again, take this gently in the beginning of practice here. Moving into the hip joints and the hip sockets. A lot of sitting, a lot of us will hold tension here. And as we open up our hips, we may feel emotions that come with them. We may feel our body differently than we did when we started on our mats. Go ahead and release that left foot down. Releasing the right foot. Move into the other side, left ankle to the right knee. Go ahead and thread the arms through the right leg. Finding that spot where it feels good for you. One more breath. And then release and let it go. Feet come to the mat and notice. Extend the left leg long, leaving the right leg bent. We'll roll onto the left side, reaching the left hand above us as well. From here, maybe your head will stay laying down or it'll come up just propped up onto your hand. And then you'll grab back to find the right leg. It's easy as side lying quad stretch. So we're just thinking about grabbing the top of our right foot with our right hand. And then bringing the knees in line just as if you were standing. And then pulling that left or that right heel to the glute. Now, option if you can't reach your toes, grabbing a strap to bring that foot to meet your back. Maybe you kick out a little bit, putting some pressure into that hand. One more breath. And then release the foot, release back onto our back. Bring the left foot in to meet the right, switching sides. Right foot will go long. Then we'll roll onto our right side. Right hand extends or props up. Go ahead and reach back for our left leg with our left hand. Keeping our knees in line. Focusing on opening up through the hamstring here. I'm not quite as balanced on one side as I am on the other. A few more breaths here. And release that leg long, rolling back onto our back, bringing our knees into our chest, and bringing a roll side to side one more time. And if you're ready, maybe the hands come behind the thighs, beginning some rocking and rolling. And if this isn't good on your spine, however you may get there, come into tabletop pose. From our tabletop, we'll inhale, drop the belly, lifting the head for our cow stretch. And then rising up through the spine, rounding through the back as we tip our chin to our chest for cat pose. Inhale, lift, shine heart. Exhale. 2 more rounds here. Inhale. Thinking about just lubricating that spine, getting those simple movements. And as you're ready, if you'd like to do more barrel rolls or hip rolls, or maybe sinking back to child's pose, take a few rounds of breath to do what your body needs to do. And then we'll put the toes together, knees come wide. We'll sink back, child's pose. Notice what you notice, feel what you feel. And we'll rise on up to our knees, dropping our hips to one side as we spin our legs out in front of us for an easy seat. In our easy seat, crossing the legs either way, however you feel comfortable, maybe a blanket to sit up on if that is necessary or feels good for your alignment. And then let's just put the hands onto the knees and slowly drop the left shoulder and then move across the front of the body to the right and circling back. And however this looks or feels, just begin to do some circles, side to side. And as I move, my hips want to move with me. So I need to find what feels good for my hips in this place today. Rolling to the left, over to the right, and back. 2 more rounds. And then let's inhale, arms will rise up. We bring the right hand to the left knee for a seated twist. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. Tall spine. As you're ready, inhale, those hands come up and then through heart center. Now moving through the opposite direction, hands onto the knees, moving right over to left and back again. So just spinning the opposite way with our circles. Maybe you stay in one spot. Feels a little better. Couple more rounds. And then let's stillness into the middle as we inhale, rise those arms. And then exhale, left hand to right knee. One more breath. And the next inhale, the hands will come up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Let's go ahead and stretch the right leg out long. And then we'll go ahead and grab the left leg, grabbing the ankle or maybe the shin with your hands, and just kind of make a cradle for your hip. We're just going to do some hip circles, opening up through that joint. So maybe you want to cradle yours a little more, a little closer to you. Maybe yours is a little further away. And then whatever direction that hip joint may need to go into. Circle side to side. Maybe it's just going forward and back. Maybe it's just giving it a squeeze and a hug. And then release it long. Let's go to the other side and grabbing that right leg, left leg is long. Same thing, circling it out. Maybe hugging it in close. And then release it long. Bringing those legs together, we're going to roll over onto our feet into our first forward fold of the night. Soft bend into those legs. If you want to come into ragdoll in our first forward fold, maybe grabbing opposite elbows with our hands. Release the hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Straighten those legs maybe, and then exhale, fold. And again, feel what you feel. Maybe this time use a deeper bend in the knees. Maybe your belly lands on your thighs. And in this forward fold, maybe your hands come behind the calves, behind the knees. Grasping forearms, opposite forearms. Let the head hang. Maybe you shake it yes and no. Maybe you let that tongue release. Releasing our hands to our mats. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We'll plant the right hand, straighten the left leg, and lift the left hand up to the sky. Thinking about elongating through the side of this left leg. A bit of an IT band. Stretch here. Let's release that left hand, switch over to the right. Left hand will plant to the ground. Bending the left knee, straightening the right, lifting the right hand. Let's release the right hand down to the mat. Let's inhale, halfway lift, yogis. Straight back, soft knees. Exhale, plant the hands to the mat. Step both feet back long for plank. Option to stay on your knees, or maybe you drop to your toes. But think long line of energy, crown of the head, through the heels. One more breath. And then lift the hips as you exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Setting up in your first downward facing dog. Maybe the middle fingers point straight up to the mat with your wrists parallel to the front of the mat. Or maybe there's a slight turn in the hands. Where is comfortable for you? Most of us may want to bend our knees in this early down dog of our practice. Or maybe you do for the whole practice. That's okay too. Look up to the hands. We'll inhale as we extend out plank. And then lift the hips. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Right leg will lift up high, extended long. Toes pointed down, hips level. Hold here.
Feel this before we move on. And here we'll bring the heel to the glute, to the butt, and then we'll open up that hip, stacking the hips, keeping the arms, shoulders square. Pause and feel. Let's return back to three-legged dog, extending that leg long. Pause and feel. And then right knee into the nose. Help it all the way to the front as you drop the left knee to the mat. Staying here in our low lunge. And maybe this is where your blocks come back into your practice tonight. Bringing the floor to meet you. Extending through that left leg, opening up the front of the left hip. Now if your hands are on either side of your front leg, let's go ahead and bring the right and the left on the inside of the body, and then heel toe that right leg out to the side of our mat for a little wider stance. You may stay here with your foot planted, or you may roll onto that knife edge of that right foot, coming into more of a lizard, winged lizard here. Three breaths, so we're not here much longer. As you're ready, if your knee is rolled out, bring it back in. Put the hands to frame the feet. And then lift up on that back knee, pushing back that right leg for high plank. Now listen closely here, friends. We're gonna drop our knees and then lower down our chin and chest, touching the mat. And then we'll inhale, drop our belly, cobra. Pushing through the hands and knees, exhale, downward facing dog. So a slight difference there, getting into our cobra, lowering knees, chin, chest for 8-point pose. Yes. It's very awkward at first, but a nice alternative than lowering down as we typically do in chaturanga. Helps build strength to get there. All right, here we go on the other side, lifting the left leg long and pause. Toes pointed down, long line. Now we'll begin to bend that left heel to the glute and then open up that hip. Shoulders stay square. Let's bring that knee back into three-legged dog, extend it out. And bring that knee into the chest, low lunge on this side. Wiggling that right knee back, maybe finding those blocks again. Pause here in our low lunge before moving to lizard. As you're ready, bringing the left hand inside the left knee, and then maybe walking that left knee out to the side as you roll open onto the left knife edge of that foot for our lizard pose. Use your breath, yogis. Send it to those hips. Last breath, bringing that left leg back in, framing the left foot, curling the right toes, lifting the back knee into your plank pose, and then we'll drop our knees, lowering down, chin, chest. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, pushing through the hands and knees, downward facing dog. We're gonna move through that series just one more time, a little bit quicker here. So we'll lift up the right leg, toes point down. Stacking the hips as you open up, three-legged dog. Squaring off the hips to the floor, extended the right leg, stretch it through to our low lunge. Now you may stay here in your low lunge and move into lizard. Or if you would like, you can pop up that back knee and then move into lizard, moving the right leg out to the side and rolling onto the knife edge of the foot, keeping that left knee off the mat. Either option is perfectly fine, whatever feels for your body. I prefer the knee down. I actually like that stretch more. Wherever you're at, return back to the middle, pressing the right leg back to plank, dropping down to the knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Hold. Heel to the butt. Open up. Squaring those hips, extending the leg. Knee in between the hands. Low lunge or staying in high lunge. One breath there. And then maybe you come into your lizard with the foot that rolls outward. One more breath. Foot comes back between hands, presses back, plank. Last time, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra. Listen here, pressing back. Widen out the knees, child's pose. And notice, what did your body feel in that? Some different movements, possibly. Take an inventory in the body scan. Beautiful, friends. Let's roll on up to hands and knees. Bring the knees back under the hips and then curl the toes, pressing back downward facing dog. From here, let's lift our right leg and then move it through in between the hands, spinning that back heel down, preparing for a warrior one. So some of us, before we rise up, may want to set the feet heel to heel alignment. Some may want slightly wider stance. But that back foot is at 45 degrees. And as you stand up, bending into 90 degrees in the front, pressing through the back, knife edge of that left foot, hands then extend overhead. Now we're drawing in through our belly here. We're not sagging or bending in, kind of scooping in that back. Level off those hips as best as they can shine forward. And pausing and holding. And then centering in, feeling the breath move throughout the body. Soften the shoulders and tongue. From here, let's bring those hands down to the heart. Let's lean forward, this time lifting up the heel on that back foot. And slowly pitching forward as that toe will drag and eventually rise up for warrior three. Early balance here, but we're not here long, friends. Square those hips down to the ground. Breathing. Let's slowly let the back heel drop. Hands come to frame the foot, pressing back, plank pose. Beautiful. Pausing here. Now let's drop the right knee down to the mat, spin open for a side plank modification. So that right knee and right hand are down. Think about engaging through that core. Now if you'd like to add on with me, friends, you lift up that left leg, toes pointed out to the front of the room. And then bringing that left hand, spin it behind you, palm faces away as the left leg bends behind, and maybe you grab that left foot, similar to how we started in our quad stretch. Now we're up onto our right-handed knee. Maybe you add this in a little bit more of a back bend by kicking into your foot into your left hand, pressing away, breathing here. If you have this bind, release the legs slowly back to the mat, pause. And then all together, we'll bring our hands back down, hop into a plank pose. If you'd like to keep knees up or knees down, we'll slowly lower all the way to the mat, cobra when we get there. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, fold. Curl the toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. Gorgeous, gorgeous, friends. Going to the other side here. So our left leg will lift up. Pause there. And then we'll bring that left knee in, preparing for our warrior one. So sometimes a shorter stance for many, maybe a little wider. Your foot doesn't have to be perfect when you get to the front. Take your time and then rise up when you're ready. And even when you rise up, you'll notice me, I tend to readjust as well. So find where your body needs to be. And then add the arms. Pinkies roll in to help release the shoulders. And then find that gaze on something in front of you. Bringing the mind into the body connection. So are your legs engaged? Is your belly together? Where's your hands? Where's your shoulders? Where's your tongue? Where's your toes? Where are they gripping? And let's go ahead and bring our hands into our heart. And then lifting off that back heel, we'll slowly pitch into warrior three, capital letter T. And we just kind of chuckle because a slow, gentle flow, even though we're not using our breath for the vinyasa movements, still challenges us. One more breath here. And then you'll slowly release those back toes. Hands come to frame the foot. Staying in our plank for a beat. And then we'll move into that side plank. So that left knee will come down to the mat. Spin open as we move onto the side of our right foot. And then our right hand will lift up high. Good. Now we're staying here to begin. And then maybe as you're ready, you add the leg for a few breaths before binding if that's where you're headed. Sitting in the pause, being okay in the pause. And if you're ready, maybe that hand turns to the back, grabbing that back right foot with the right hand, maybe kicking open for more of a back bend. Don't lose your breath here. Releasing that foot if you have a bind. Pausing for one more breath. Releasing the right hand. Maybe you pop up to the toes for a beat before you slowly lower all the way to the mat for cobra. Inhale, lift the chest. And then here we push back, child's pose. Bringing the knees wide or knees together. And we notice. Good time to grab a drink or sit in that pause with me, friends. There's no rush to move on to the next thing. Roll back to our tabletop, pressing through all 5 fingers and thumb all the way up, downward facing dog. Maybe you're feeling a bit more openness into the back of the legs. Maybe the heels are coming a bit closer to the mat in your downward facing dog. We'll lift the right leg up high, pause. Knee in to the chest. Now listen here closer. We're going to spin that right or that left foot down. We're going to rise right up into warrior two. So the right heel is left arch alignment. This time open hips to the front of the room. Again, always adjusting where you need to adjust. Hands extend long, gaze straight over the right fingertips out the front. Now think about the whole foundation of energy supporting you underneath your legs. From the right heel up to the center, to the pubic bone, all the way down the left inner thigh through the left foot. Engage the arms. And as we're ready, we're going to inhale, we'll tip back, reverse warrior, looking down to the back of the left heel. If you want to take a slight bind, that left hand may come around the back, reaching for the right hip crease. One more breath. As you exhale, moving back to warrior two and immediately into extended side angle. So some of us may look here with arms stacked on top of each other, open to the front. Or you may want to take that left hand and move it over top of the head, thinking about long line of energy. Don't fall over there. Long line of energy from the fingertips of the left hand all the way down the side of the body through the left back foot. Maybe you sink in deeper to the right leg, 90 degrees. And maybe some of us are feeling more like this today, where we're rising up more, not so bent into that side. It's okay, friends. Bodies are not meant to all be the same. Let's inhale back to warrior two. Let it go. Inhale, hands will rise as the foot turns. Exhale, forward fold. Pressing back, cobra, or if you would like up dog, you may move there. It's not necessary before you move into downward facing dog. Cobra is a beautiful place to stay to keep this low tonight. But if you are just craving that upward facing dog, you know where to go. Left leg will lift and pause. And then let's step it through, immediately twisting onto that back, the right foot open into our warrior two on this side. Heel to arch alignment, fingertips long. Find that gaze on that one object. Check in and notice. Maybe this side is different. I'm sure it is. Let's go ahead and inhale, lift the front hand, release the back hand to the thigh. Reverse warrior. One more breath. Exhale, moving through warrior two and all the way into our side angle. Remember your options are arms stacked or maybe right arm extended over.
2 more breaths. Stay with us, friends. Our legs are probably wanting to come out. On the next inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Let it go. Inhale again, twisting onto that back right foot. Exhale, forward fold. Pushing back, plank, chaturanga, or cobra. Upward facing dog. And sinking hips or lifting hips high, downward facing dog. Take this pause, and you may drop to child's pose if you prefer to pause in child's pose. But take that time to feel it. Gaze will lift to the front of the mat. We'll walk our feet forward fold, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, root to rise, circle sweep those arms. Exhale, hands to your heart center. From here, we're just gonna open up to the side of our mat here, taking a wide-legged, toes pointed out 45 degree. Hands come to the hip as we inhale, maybe you lift the chest for a little heart opener and back bending. And then exhale as you forward fold, keeping a long spine, straight back. Wide-legged forward fold. Now maybe once you get here, maybe you go wider, maybe you go side to side, maybe you just sit in stillness. What do you need in this forward fold here? Wide legs. If you've taken any movement or gone to either side, return back to the middle. And then we will inhale, halfway lift, straight spine, hands come to the hips. Let it go, and on your next inhale, rising all the way up. Bringing the heels in a little bit closer. We're gonna sink into our goddess pose. Okay, so for some, maybe the heels come wider, or maybe they're even closer, and then dropping in. Back into that strong foundation, into those legs. 3 breaths, not long at all. Inhaling, and maybe as you exhale, you sink lower. There's 2, 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lift all the way up with those hands. Now this time here, we're gonna exhale, sink into yogi squat. So if you like a more narrow, we will drop all the way down to the floor. If you want a block to sit on, or maybe once you get there, you bring in the heels a little closer. But thinking about maybe the elbows pushing into the inners of those knees and pressing them out for a little bit more stretch if that's what you're craving. Hands maybe at prayer pose here. Maybe just bow your head, and this is your noticing here. Here is our pause in this sequence. One more breath. And as you let it go, let's bring our hands down to the mat and just slowly roll forward so those knees come down to meet the mat. Now we're gonna come into frog pose here. So I'm gonna stay square onto the camera. And you're gonna take your knees nice and wide. And when you get your knees wide, think about the heels and knees in the same line, with the toes pointed out, so you have a 90-degree bend.
from your toes to your knee, so the ankle joint, and then in your knee joint, you also have 90 degrees. So you may roll up a blanket, maybe you just roll your mat over. So your knees come wide, feet are squared as well. And as you're ready, maybe you come to blocks, or you just stay here on your hands, or you come to forearms, and you'll hold here. A great place for a block is for the head as well. Now, as you're getting into it, I'm going to also turn onto the side so that you can see where my hips are landing. So as we get into this wide pose, we want our hips to be in alignment with our knees, so we're not sinking too far back and not too far forward. We're straight in 90 degrees. So this may be where you are. Maybe you're down to the mat. Maybe those blocks are being used for the head. Now this is going to be a very intense pose for many of us, myself included. So use that breath and stay here for 5 breaths, and if that helps to count it, please do. Final 2 breaths. Make sure that last breath all the way exhale out before you begin, maybe coming up if you were all the way down. And friends, release this slowly. So just bring one foot in at a time and then the other. If you need to press back to child's pose, feel free to maybe do some circles, wherever you need to go, but we will come up to downward facing dog when you are ready. And from here, we're just going to bring that right knee into the right wrist, preparing for pigeon pose. So we'll lay down onto that shin. Maybe that right heel is tucked in towards your left hip, and the top of that right foot is all the way down on the mat. Once you get there, maybe your left hip moves back or your left foot moves back. And again, props to help us here. You may stay upright. Beautiful spot to be. You may lower down to your forearms, maybe using bolster to lay onto. If this is not comfortable for you, you may also go back to where we began into reclined figure 4 on our backs. That's another spot to go. Just honoring what feels good for your knees and for your hip. Now in this pose, think about, are your hips level or are you dumping into the left or to the right? You should never kind of dump to one side or another. So if you need props to help support that, or maybe you need to rise up a little bit more and come out of the pose just a bit. Turn our awareness back to our intention, what brought us here on our mats today. And then as we have that intention, using our breath to really cultivate that. So inhaling, whatever that is, maybe just exhaling whatever we no longer need, whatever no longer serves us, just letting it go. Give me 2 more rounds of breaths, friends. Just like frog, we need to come out of this as slowly as we can. So maybe rising up if you were down on your forearms, then curling the back left toes, Lifting off that left knee, pressing into the hands as we lift the right leg up. Now some may want to lift up that right leg and circle it out. Some may just stay in downward facing dog into stillness. Whatever your body needs. And when you're ready, the left leg will come forward to the left wrist, dropping on to the shin of the left leg, top of the left foot, towards the right hip, setting up on pigeon on the other side. And once you're ready, if you want to lower down, feel free to do so. Your body may be ready to come out of it, but stay with the breath. Give me one more big inhale. Let it go. Pressing up into the hands. Maybe rolling onto the left hip as you swing that right leg out in front of us. Maybe take any movements that you may need, since you're going to take the down dog. If you want to sway those hips side to side. Coming into square pose into the front. So stacking the hips. Some of us may just look like an easy seat. Some of us may want to stack heel on top of knee and come into more of a square pose or a double pigeon. Now we won't be here long at all. So wherever your body feels most comfortable, take it there. Maybe there's blocks that come underneath your knees. Beautiful option as well. Sitting up tall through the spine. In a yin class, we'd hold these longer. Just moving through them today for that opening into our hips. One more breath. Beautiful. Release that top leg. Maybe shake it out and let's go long. Moving to the other side here. The left leg maybe on top of the right. And just honor if your body doesn't do the same as it does on the other side. Because many days our bodies are very different from side to side. That's okay. And then sitting up tall. A few more breaths. Last exhale. Beautiful. Release those legs all the way long. Shake them out. And as you're on your mat, slowly lay all the way back down.
Maybe those knees come into the chest for a roll side to side. From here, we'll kick our feet up to the sky for our legs up the wall. And this is our last pose before our Shavasana. So if you are ready to rest into your Shavasana, don't ever let me stop you from going there early. This is always your practice, right? Stillness to feel what your body is sending you in this pose. Helps reduce our blood pressure, anxiety, a very grounding pose. So tune into your body here. For you to stay if that's feeling good for you. If not, release the legs long onto the mat to both corners of the mat. Arms extend, palms up to the heavens, up to the skies. And release into your resting pose, Shavasana, friends. Into draw awareness back into your body. Do a brief scan to feel everything from your toes up to the crown of your head. When you're ready, maybe knees come into the chest as you roll side to side. Rolling all the way onto the right or to the left side. Pausing there. Giving your body gratitude through your yoga practice. And then beginning to slowly rise up to an easy seat. Once you've reached your easy seat, if it's comfortable and safe, keep your eyes soft gaze or closed. Maybe hands come to heart center or rest open onto our thighs. And yogis, as we move through our practice tonight and paused in those moments, felt what we felt, noticed what we noticed, I hope that gratitude is something that maybe came up for you. Whether that be for your body, for something in your life, for just this present moment that we're in, or maybe the magnitude of other things. I want to leave you with this. And I hope all of you become gratitude magnets. When we're grateful for the things in your life, big and small, you always seem to find more and more and more things to be grateful for. Abundance will flow into our life when gratitude flows out from our heart. And that's from John Gordon. So I hope through those pauses, through the noticing, through the feeling, that your heart is filled with an abundance of gratitude, friends. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be at peace with all human beings. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you had a beautiful practice. It's always an honor and pleasure to lead you. So I just can't thank you enough. Have a great evening. And until next time, we'll see you next Tuesday, 5:30.